Hello everybody, I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Before we get started, I have to show you this meme. It's gonna set the tone for this entire video. I'm in a really good mood. I don't know if you can tell, but I really like this chapter. I can't wait to get into it. Look at this. This is ridiculous. I love it so much. Look at this meme. This is exactly... By the way, daily OP memes on Twitter, hilarious. They be churning them out, but I just really wanted to show you guys this meme. It's hilarious because, dear God, those old men really are just so sorry, so very sorry. At this point, this is what it's come to. I even tagged Rob in this. Like, I sent this to him on Twitter. I was like, dude, this is what it's come to. The Gorosei are out here looking for anybody that can possibly do anything to stop Mugiwara no Luffy. It's just so very funny. And so yeah, I had a great time with this chapter. I think right off the bat, I mean, you guys have read it. I mean, obviously I would hope that you have. I hope you're not using me as the mouthpiece for this wonderful adventure and you're getting all the information from me. I hope you've already read it, because obviously we're gonna be spoiling it. But a lot of people were upset about this chapter. Like, apparently it's a controversy for what happened in the chapter with Bonnie and Luffy, and I gotta say, I don't agree. I don't understand. I don't know why this would make anybody upset. And I tweeted this out earlier today, actually. I was like, you know what's better than thinking that you can write a better story than Oda? Just shutting your mouth and enjoying the ride. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that I think that Oda's perfect and he can't do anything wrong. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is he has not done anything that would ever make me complain the way I see people that are complaining on Twitter for literally anything. And you know what it seems like? It just feels like people want to be something that they're not really. Like, people want to be like film critics and like critique stories, but their takes are just like bizarre sometimes. I don't know. Like, and I see a lot of takes on Twitter like saying that like some One Piece fans are praising this decision because they're like, oh, Oda foreshadowed this, and it's just like, I mean, I'm not gonna break down why it's good writing, okay? To be honest, I kind of feel like I don't have to, because Oda's earned the right to just kind of do whatever he wants at this point. Like, if you guys are still trying to play like the writing hall monitor on Ichirios Oda, that's who you're trying to hall monitor in writing right now. You think that he's making mistakes. I urge you to rethink that. I beg thee, please think before you put anything that ridiculous out into the internet, because once it's in the internet, it's forever, and people are gonna make fun of you for it, okay? So, but yeah, before we even get into the chapter, I just want to make my stance known on the controversy. This isn't controversy, dude. I think that what happens in the chapter is amazing. I can't wait to get to it, but let's go ahead and get into it, guys. Sorry for the long, babbling intro, but this is a chapter review for One Piece chapter 1118, titled Being Free. And once again, in the title page, we have Yamato just kind of doing their own thing, and it's just kind of like... Dude, Yamato could have came with us. I'm so tired of seeing Yamato having the time of their lives in Wano. Meanwhile, the entire world is, like, captivated by Vegapunk's message, and we are fighting for our lives just to get off of Egghead Island, so... But you know what? It's okay, because Yamato's doing the whole Oten thing, traveling around. God, whatever. All right, but anyway, the chapter starts off where we left off last week with the Iron Giant plunging into the ocean, and it is still kind of sad. You know, Oda likes to tease us a lot, and he's basically saying like, hey, you see this Iron Giant? This guy's important. I want to pay attention to him, but we never get a lot from him. I think that's like, which obviously is on purpose, and we're not supposed to get it now, but it's just like, you know, I'm ready to learn about this guy. You know, he was carrying. I was willing to acknowledge that he may have been the MVP for the last couple of arcs, because the Din Din Mushi that was broadcasting the entire message, that snail is apparently within him, so he's been carrying this whole time. Something I want to call attention to, the people around the world, they do not know what is going on. The last bit of information that they got was that Vegapunk was being held hostage by the Straw Hats. Like, the Straw Hats invaded Egghead Island and took him hostage. So there's a decent chance that a lot of people around the world will think that Luffy is responsible for his demise, which I gotta say, I know that that's not really going to be like such a big deal in the story, or maybe it will be, but I just feel like this kind of thing happens to Luffy all the time. Like, people think that he's a bad person and he just doesn't care. He just lets them think whatever he wants. He doesn't care about clearing his name, like, ever. Like, if you're in the room and you ask him directly, he'll probably deny it. But a lot of times he won't even deny it. He'll just be like, man, you can think whatever you want. And he just jumps out of a window. Like, dude, like, come on, man. His lawyer must hate him. But a really cool thing in the chapter happens when Luffy, Dory, and Broggy finally catch up to one of the ships that are leaving. And it looks like this is the ship that Bonnie's on. Then we cut to Vice Admiral Bluegrass and Vice Admiral Dahl, and it looks like Bonnie has turned them both into children, which is pretty impressive because, like, if Haki can cancel out, like, devil fruits, that means that, you know, Bonnie's pretty strong, you know? These are Vice Admirals. You know, she's a problem, which means that the Gorosei are... I'm getting ahead of myself again. Look at that. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm sorry. We will talk about those useless idiots. Sanji checks in with the other ship, and this is when we get one of my favorite gags where Sanji is like, listen, I will do whatever it takes to save you and Robin, Nami. Don't you worry. And Usopp is always the only one that calls Sanji out, like, why do you say it like that? Please just stop forgetting about everybody else, and for God's sake, save all of us. You could save all of us. Don't just point them out and say they're definitely going to be okay, but I don't know about those guys. It's kind of messed up. Something that immediately happens when Luffy gets onto the ship also is that he just immediately starts eating. Like, they had food waiting for him, which makes sense, but it's just kind of like, Luffy is so like the one crutch that Luffy has is that Gear 5 drains him of his stamina, like his energy, like literally everything, but eating fixes it in true shonen protagonist fashion. And so the amount of times the plot has facilitated Luffy getting like full meals, and it always makes sense, but it's just always hilarious because it's like, dude, Goku didn't eat this much, like whenever he was running the ones with any like space aliens that he had to fight to save Earth. Like, Naruto didn't eat this much. Like, Luffy is actually like, he needs food for his powers to work, and I just think that's so funny. So he takes like mid like fight breaks just so he can fill back up so he can go into Gear 5 again and whoop people's ass. It's so funny. It's so funny. And to me, it just adds further proof and context to when they were on Whole Cake Island and Luffy was like, Sanji, straight up, I cannot become the Pirate King without you. Like, that wasn't just a sweet thing he was telling his friend. He was being honest. Like, Luffy's like, listen, no. I need food. I need it constantly. And your food is the best, and you can cook the fastest, and if you go, I can't do it. I cannot do this without you, buddy. So Luffy fills up on food, and then he turns back into Gear 5, and this is when Bonnie recognizes him, and she's like, whoa, Nika. And then Luffy's just straight up like, again, I have no idea who you're talking about, but why don't you become a Gear 5 person too? And it's like, it's literally that, like, fast. Like, Luffy's literally just like, I don't know who Nika is. I don't know, and I don't care, but what you should literally just, he had a question, and he was like, I bet you could do this. Not founded in any reason. That's why I'm saying, dude, that crackhead is dangerous. Like, he's running off of imagination. And now, so is Bonnie. So as we keep going, Luffy goes over why he knows that Bonnie could do this. And again, it's not rooted in any science. It's literally just like, but why not? Why couldn't you become a Gear 5 person? And Bonnie immediately is like, you know, give me a distorted future where I'm totally free. And she becomes the second Nika. She becomes another Gear 5 person. And what I really like about this, like, no funny shit, like, what I really like this panel, right next to Bonnie becoming her own Nika transformation, right next to Bonnie's Gear 5 transformation, it's Kuma. And it's still emotionless, it's his face, he's still emotionless, but you get a small flashback where he's talking to Jenny when she's passed, and he's like, you can rest now, Jenny. I swear I'll raise her well. And it's like, you don't know how much humanity is left in Kuma, but it's obviously something because he's here on Egghead right now. And for his eyes to just look at Bonnie totally, completely free, Gear 5, that is the happiest transformation, dare I say, in all of manga. Like, it's the best thing that probably can happen to any character, and she's gonna be having the time of her life. Like, I don't know how that's making him feel right now, but I know that it's what he needed, and I don't know, like, it would be really sad if Kuma just, like, lets go in this moment, like, all of his humanity, like, everything, it just fades, and he truly just, like, he actually passes away because he knows, like, Jenny really can rest in peace, like, Bonnie is totally free. And so now there's two Gear 5 people about to fight these old geriatrics. The chapter closes out with the Iron Giant hearing the heartbeats of both Luffy and Bonnie and saying, there you are. Okay, that was a lot. I understand. Bonnie became Gear 5, and a lot of people are angry because, to be honest, I truly don't know. Like, I've heard a couple of explanations where it's like it undermines what Luffy did, and it doesn't, because they're two different characters, and this isn't like, I mean, there's got to be some type of limitations on what, like, Bonnie's doing. There's limitations on what Luffy's doing. Like, I don't think that she's as powerful as Luffy is, or maybe she is. I don't care. I truly don't care. It makes me so sick that I have to entertain the criticisms that aren't like this. It's ridiculous. For one thing, like I said before, it would be so much cooler if you just shut up and enjoyed the ride, because this is a very, very good ride that we are going on, and I only felt joy. I felt joy for Kuma. I felt joy for Bonnie. I felt relieved that after one of the darkest stories that I've ever heard, and definitely like the most tragic backstory up until this point in One Piece, I feel like maybe some people could argue that, but for me, dude, no, it's Kuma. Like, after that backstory, and we got like even more sad stuff happening with like figuring out how close Kizaru is with all of them, and just like how Bonnie has felt through this whole thing because she thought her dad just didn't want to talk to her for all that time. She didn't get any of the letters. After all of that sad, it was sad. It was filled with so many things. I was like, there's no way we get a happy ending. Okay, and I know this still isn't technically, like, this isn't the happiest of ending, but like, she is happy right now. She's feeling nothing but joy, and she's free, and I have no problems with that. And I just really don't want to entertain why people would have problems with that, if I'm being honest. Like, it just doesn't, like, I don't understand. I don't understand. But now that we've made it here, I can finally say what I want to say. Those old men are truly sorry. The whole reason she has the devil fruit that she has is because of their stupid, ridiculous experimentations, okay? They wanted to see, I don't even know why they did it. I don't remember, but giving a child the power to, like, make their imaginations come true, what in God's name were you thinking? Like, now you have two crackheads with reality-distorting devil fruits that hate you. The world government. They could have even maybe tried to be more manipulative with stuff. Maybe they could have gotten Bonnie to trust them a little bit more. Like, maybe they could have whispered, like, hatred in her ear about Kuma or something. Like, it would have, maybe something could have worked because she wasn't getting any of the letters. They didn't do any of this smart at all. They were just cruel every step of the way. And now the next chapter of One Piece is just going to be an episode of Tom and Jerry. They are going to whoop these old men's ass. They are going to drag them all across Egghead Island, and then they're going to fly away. And at the end, Porky the Pig is gonna go, well, that's all, folks. I swear to God, that's how the next chapter is going to be. That might be how the next 5 chapters are gonna be. Unless Oda decides to take us to Hachinosu or something like that and show us what's going on in the other parts of the world. Because I can guarantee you they are about to go crazy. And I can also guarantee those old men couldn't stop Luffy. What are they going to do against 2 of them? I mean, let's just be real. What are they going to do against 2 of them? But those are my thoughts for this chapter. I had an amazing time. The one thing I would have liked to see, because I always like seeing her, is Vivi. And I hope that we could have gotten some more insight on where she's going. I'm still waiting for our girl to come back to us, man. I just really am. You know, I think that if she joined the Straw Hats after this long, it's going to be another record that Oda breaks. Like, we haven't been with Vivi in such a long time, but if she joins the crew, it's going to be seamless. I don't know how many stories can pull something like that off, but I know One Piece would be able to do it. And it would make sense if she didn't join the Straw Hats too, to be honest. It would make sense if she didn't, because now she's pretty much like the ruler of Alabasta. But also, like, you know, the whole world is about to be at war, presumably. And especially if the world government is just sinking the entire world, maybe you should just hop aboard the Sunny. They'll protect you, and we can all get to the bottom of this together. Aside from that, obviously, I'm still curious about the Iron Giant, but I'm giving him way more slack now. I am confident that whatever happens, we're gonna learn more about, you know, who he is, who he was, what his connection to Joy Boy is. I'm confident in that, and I'm willing to wait it out. But yeah, guys, all in all, just, I don't know, if you want to, like, talk about your favorite thing, I'm all for it. I totally am all for it. I draw the line, though, at just being, like, negative and disrespectful on Twitter to a story that doesn't deserve it. You know what I mean? I'm here to do that to Boruto all day, because that's not a real show. You guys know how I feel about Jaden Smith, the anime. But One Piece has just done too much for everybody to just go crazy over something like this. I don't agree with that. I'm not here for it. And, you know, I can't entertain it. I don't know. I wish I had more for you. And I really do try to see it from everybody's point of view, but it's just like, I don't know how you can see everything that Bonnie and Kuma went through and not look at this payoff. For one thing, it makes sense. It does make sense. It's not like this came out of nowhere. It's just like, you're just mad that things were easy for the child when everything else in her life wasn't easy. Like, it was easy for her to become Gear 5, Okay, sure, but like that would have only been possible because of Luffy and everything that he did and everything that she persevered through. And it's not a handout, man. It's not a handout. And I don't know. I guess that's the only thing. That's the last thing rather that I want to say about it. I had a great time with this chapter. Let me know if you guys did in the comments. Let me know who you guys thought was the MVP of this chapter. But yeah, that's about it. We still don't have a break next week, it says. I'm hoping that's true. Sometimes they just don't tell us when there are and there isn't a chapter. But yeah, I don't know. Really had a great time this chapter. Cannot wait for next week. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for being interested, and I cannot wait to see you in the next one.